He had just lost everything, but the choice he made 5 minutes later would change his life forever. Daniel stepped out of the office building carrying nothing but a small cardboard box with a framed photo of his mother, a coffee mug, and a few personal belongings. The security guard gave him a sympathetic nod as the heavy glass doors closed behind him. After 8 years of arriving early, working late, and never missing a deadline, he was no longer an employee. The company had downsized, and his name was on the list. As he stood on the sidewalk trying to process what had happened, his phone rang. It was his landlord. "Daniel, your rent is already 2 weeks overdue. If you can't pay by Friday, I'll have no choice but to rent the apartment to someone else." Daniel swallowed hard. "Please, just give me a little more time." The call ended without much hope. He opened his banking app. The balance was barely enough to buy groceries for a few days. Worse still, his mother needed medication for her heart condition. He didn't know how he was going to tell her that he'd lost his job. Dark clouds rolled overhead, and rain began to pour. Pulling his thin jacket tighter, Daniel started the long walk home. Halfway there, he noticed an elderly woman struggling with several heavy grocery bags. One of the bags tore open, sending fruit rolling across the wet sidewalk. People walked past without stopping. Some glanced at her before continuing on their way. Daniel hesitated for only a second. He hurried over, picked up the scattered groceries, and smiled warmly. "Ma'am, let me help you." The elderly woman looked at him with kind eyes. "Thank you, young man. You look like you've had a difficult day yourself." Daniel forced a smile. "I have, but that doesn't mean I can't help someone else." He carried the groceries while they slowly walked toward her nearby home. Along the way, she asked him about his life. "What do you do for work?" Daniel chuckled softly. "As of today, nothing." She looked at him with concern. "You lost your job?" "I did, but complaining won't change it. I'll find another one somehow." When they reached her small house, Daniel noticed the front gate hanging crookedly from a broken hinge. "If you don't mind," he said, "I think I can fix that." Using a few simple tools from the woman's shed, he repaired the gate until it opened smoothly again. The old woman reached into her purse and offered him some money. Daniel gently pushed her hand back. "No, ma'am. Please keep it. Someone helped me when I was younger. I'm just passing it on." The elderly woman stared at him for a moment, deeply moved. "What is your name?" "Daniel." "Full name?" He smiled, slightly puzzled, and told her. She repeated it quietly, making sure she remembered. As he prepared to leave, she smiled and said, "Young man, don't lose hope. Tomorrow may surprise you." Daniel laughed politely. "I hope you're right." Walking away, he believed she was simply trying to encourage him. He had no idea those words were about to come true. The next morning, Daniel woke early and began sending out more job applications. Just as he was about to leave for another interview that he wasn't even sure would happen, his phone rang. "Good morning. Am I speaking with Daniel?" "Yes. This is Horizon Group. We'd like you to come in for an interview this morning." Daniel was stunned. I'll be there." An hour later, he arrived at one of the city's most prestigious corporate headquarters. The building was far more impressive than anywhere he had worked before. After checking in, he was escorted into a large boardroom. His eyes widened. Sitting at the head of the table was the elderly woman he had helped the day before. Daniel froze. "You?" She smiled warmly. "I told you tomorrow might surprise you." The executives around the table smiled. One of them spoke. "Daniel, allow us to introduce Mrs. Eleanor Brooks, the founder of this company and current chairwoman of our board." Daniel could barely believe what he was hearing. Mrs. Brooks continued, "Yesterday, I didn't tell you who I was, because I wanted to see your true character. You believed I was simply an old woman who needed help. You had every reason to ignore me. You had just lost your job, your rent was overdue, and you were carrying burdens of your own. Yet you still chose kindness." She paused before looking around the room. "Skills can be taught, character cannot." The room fell silent. One executive added, "Mrs. Brooks personally requested that we meet you today." Daniel struggled to find words. "I don't know what to say." Mrs. Brooks smiled. Then let me speak instead. She slid a folder across the table. Inside was an employment contract. Not only was the salary nearly twice what he had earned before, but it also included health insurance for his family, paid training, and opportunities for promotion. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. This changes everything. Mrs. Brooks nodded. No, Daniel, your kindness changed everything. We're simply recognizing it. A few months later, Daniel's life looked completely different. His rent was fully paid. His mother's medical treatment was covered. He had earned the respect of his new colleagues, not because of his title, but because he treated everyone with the same kindness he had shown that rainy afternoon. Every Saturday, Daniel volunteered at a community center, helping elderly people with groceries, home repairs, and transportation. One afternoon, Mrs. Brooks quietly visited the center without announcing herself. She watched from a distance as Daniel laughed with an elderly couple while fixing a broken wheelchair ramp. She smiled to herself. She had made the right decision. Daniel never forgot the day he chose compassion over self-pity. He often told new employees, success isn't just about the opportunities you receive. It's about the kind of person you choose to be when no one is watching. Because sometimes the greatest opportunities arrive disguised as ordinary acts of kindness. If Daniel had ignored that elderly woman, his future might have been very different. Do you believe one act of kindness can truly change a person's life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another heartwarming story. Share this video with someone who believes kindness still has the power to change the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.